Uh. Hey! Greetings, salutations, hello, hi, hola, how are you? Yeah. So, let's talk Tetro Danganronpa. And let's not talk about how I'm using Yokoi Ruka Sprite. Okay? Okay. But in all seriousness, it's a placeholder because I don't want to make my own sprite, so you know what I'm saying. Yay! With all seriousness, let's actually start talking. Tetro Danganronpa is a fan-made audio series inspired by the franchise made by Spike, Chunsoft, and Kadoka. It is also a Danganronpa and its own thing. And you can see this character, Yokoi Ruka, featuring in Tetro Danganronpa Blue. This Danganronpa was supposed to have 3 installments respectively. Tetro Danganronpa Pink, Tetro Danganronpa Blue, and the final one, Tetro Danganronpa White, that was cut entirely, and the main topic of this video. Now, I just want to say that the works were created by none other than the now cancelled Vonbabbit, or Vonbabbit, I don't know how to pronounce it, and yeah, pretty much. It was cancelled on its halfway mark through chapter 3. I'm not sure if it was the halfway mark, but it was cancelled on the chapter 3 mark of Tetro Danganronpa Blue, and the voice actor of another Tetro Danganronpa Blue character, Felix Wisconsin, or I'm probably butchering that, but anyways, they published the rest of Tetro Danganronpa Blue since Vonbabbit couldn't take responsibility for their mistakes and left the project entirely. This left Tetro Danganronpa Light into a hold and further cancellation, with continuous leaks and other major plot lines for that segment of the Danganronpa to be left undiscovered. But why make a video of a cancelled production, may you ask? Why, thank you for asking, random commentator. I'm glad you asked. I'm petty. Next question, please. Since I'm so petty, I'm making my own version of Tetro Danganronpa White because I was so robbed of the last installment when I really liked how the story was being set up. And I'm very disappointed in the creator of Tetro Danganronpa. So, I'm making my own version of the third installment, basing my opinions off the wiki and what I think would happen, and also because of the leaks. Yeah, the release of this dang thing. So, with no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I introduce you to Tetro Danganronpa White. I am officially finishing AI Slob, so you don't have to. Oh my god, somebody kill me now. Not really, though. Anyways, why am I subjecting myself to this again? Tell me, why? We've got 16 students to go through. Let's get this over with, shall we? Student 1, I'm Maisawa, Ultimate Quilter. Student 2, Ki Ba Sa Ni Ji Ma, Ultimate Shark Trainer. Student 3, Rio Komine, Ultimate Indie Filmmaker. Satoshi Inagaki, Ultimate Gotcha Gamer. Student number 5, Miru Yukigaya, Ultimate World Record Holder. Student number 6, Masaru Nakai, Ultimate Sumo. Yasuyo Koda, Ultimate Glow Boy Dancer. Student number 8, Yuya Sugiyama, Ultimate Competitive Eater. Student number 9, Tokumi Kyogoku, Ultimate Taiko Drummer. Student number 10, Hideya Satoguchi, Ultimate Beta Keeper. Student number 11, Mayo Hasegawa, Ultimate Journalist. Student number 12, Jiki Takanohara, Ultimate Living Doll. Student number 13, Tirumi Maya E, Ultimate Itamari. Student number 14, Glass Kihara, Ultimate Thanatologist. Student number 15, Ayano Aish. Student number 15, Ayano Kitora, Ultimate Pickpocket. Student number 16, Kenji Suzuki, Ultimate Dream Interpreter. Finally, all students covered. In this video, I'll just be going over the prologue and what I think would happen based on the information card and the wiki. Also, I will be making multiple parts because I rather procrastinate than write trauma for 17-year-olds, 15-year-olds, etc., all alike, and some torture sloth, or whatever the cause may be. With all that stalling out of the way, let's get into it, shall we? Oh god. Anyway, yay! Alright, here we go. Extremely disoriented during birthing process. Remained cautious during interview. Came to the conclusion that she is currently in a dream. Somewhat socially awkward. Doesn't make good for conversation. Please do be polite with her. She seems like a nice enough girl. Just a little odd. Masala I is very cautious and observant. I hope she will explore and manipulate the killing environment to her advantage. Age 17, sex female, D.O.B.05/05/20XX. Height 16 centimeters, C point Hakon. C type O post. Rel neg origin Hakon. Virtue prepared. Review quilter.txt. Please duly note that in this session, because Seki is now deceased, Dr. Tadamatsu will be the one interviewing the students/participants in this session, because I think it makes the most sense, because she has done it before. Example, Ogura Noriko from Session Blue. Trust me, I don't like it either, but I promise you that it would be Muranaga if it wasn't Tadamatsu. And I think Dr. Muranaga has been through enough. During her interview, Masada seemed cooperative but tired, slightly disoriented and thinking she was in a dream. She casually pinched herself here and there, hoping she would wake up to no prevail. Even with this failure, she remained cooperative and got sent back to her room. Dr. Tadamatsu, luckily enough, was able to get the information she required from Ms. Maisawa. I will be giving you a couple of seconds to read this because I will not be wasting my time reading information cards. It took me long enough to voice Maizawa's information card. Samijima was a little too trusting of the doctors and a little too cooperative during the booking process, almost too cooperative for comfort. He didn't really seem to be all that worried about being kidnapped, nor did it slip his mind at all. Being a recall to Session 2, Student 6, Tsukigata Hideyuki. He also seemed to be the type that did not like being told what to do, as he kept fidgeting on stuff and touching stuff that he was directly told not to by other doctors and Dr. Tadamatsu himself. He seemed a little too trusting and a little too innocent as well. He seemed cooperative enough, at least. No problems around him at all. There is enough information gathered by his answers given to Dr. Tadamatsu. He was escorted back to his room shortly after. Pullman seemed rather disinterested in the interview process, but still remained to be cooperative throughout the whole entire thing, giving out the answers needed to Dr. Tadamatsu. She was tired and kept making incorrect conclusions and assumptions to why she was being interviewed overall, and made multiple mentions of a different person entirely. Anageki was fairly cooperative during the interview process, only giving the answers that he was intended to, or was asked out of from the doctors, and Dr. Tadamatsu herself. He seemed really out of it, in all opinions considered. Overall, he was very socially awkward and seemed very nervous and shy. However, I put up no complaints whatsoever when it came to being kidnapped overall. He seemed like he didn't like it, yes, but he didn't seem to really care or want to care or like just put up with it and admit to it. He was escorted to his room shortly after. Yukigia was rather rebellious during the interview process. She seemed rather dull, crude, and sarcastic during the interview, seemingly straight out disrespecting Dr. Tadamatsu, and seemingly rather aggressively calm, more so of a passive aggressive side. For sure, she's very feisty and overall very sassy. She seemed to put up a good fight during the interview. It caused quite the disturbance for the schedule, and she was forced to be escorted back to her room. Only after this she gave the answers to what Dr. Tadamatsu was looking for. Sugiyama's approach in the interview process was quite odd, to say the least. Seemingly awkward during the interview, and answers were quite vague. However, he was cooperative during the interview nonetheless, and gave the answers Dr. Tadamatsu was looking for in full regard. He wasn't anything too special, more so average, boring, way too boring. He's also quite pathetic. Talking about his friends is a sensitive topic, and his other classmates. Miss Toda has rather the interesting personality. She was uncooperative in ways you wouldn't expect. Precisely. She was trying to roleplay throughout the whole entire session with Dr. Tadamatsu. She came across as being friendly towards Dr. Tadamatsu while not answering most of the questions and straight out ignoring what was being asked of her. There was no other option but to send her back to her room. Nakai came across very shy and soft-spoken during the interview, barely making his sentences go above a whisper. He honestly means well and was very cooperative during the interview process, though it began to become very annoying to hold a conversation with him. Dr. Tadamatsu got all the information she needed from him. He wasn't anything too special, average to say the least, normal, a little bit too normal. Dr. Tadamatsu got what she needed and just sent him back to his room. There was no problem from here on out during his interview process. He was Goku was one of the most uncooperative participants during their interview process. She seemed rebellious and also threatened basically Dr. Tadamatsu herself. She seemed like she was very tense during the interview, giving no information whatsoever. She lived up to her threats and even attacked Dr. Tadamatsu. She was forced to be escorted away without any answers. The information she did provide was hardly anything useful. She seems more like one of the most troublesome ones out of the group, though the other doctors and Dr. Tadamatsu herself are pretending like nothing ever happened. Setoguchi was fairly cooperative during his interview phase. The only problem was that it took a little bit longer for him to give out his answers longer than others. He got unsure himself when he was given questions and not sure how to answer them. He seems like a good kid, generally means well. He shouldn't be too much of a problem. Miss Hasagawa had a certainly interesting interview. Dr. Tadamatsu made remarks regarding her brother, session 1 participant, Hasagawa Ken. While Miss Hasagawa was very cooperative during her interview, she seemed very interested that questions or remarks about her brother were circulating and coming up. She wanted answers. Due to his recent disappearance and the local disappearance, because she clearly didn't know that he had been abducted and went through the situation she was going to be going through. Miss Hasagawa gained more answers than she should have, and gained more information than was required. It shouldn't be a problem though. Her memory's gonna get erased anyway. Asuka Nohara was compliant during the interview process. Seemed very quiet, not much of a talker. He was rather dull and creepy. Dr. Tadamatsu requested to make his summary quite short. She'd much rather not discuss with him, and was hoping to make the interview quick just by how disturbing he was during the process. He was normal, but his vibe and how he responded was eerie. Mayate was uncooperative during the interview process. She was being quite bossy and stubborn, not answering any of Dr. Tanamatsu's questions without getting her own questions answered. With all her reluctance resisting, Dr. Tadamatsu gave in and gave some answers to the questions that she held dearly. In order to get answers from Mayate herself for her own questions. These were some questions she was not supposed to tell or inform Miss Mayate about. She had a very interesting interview. Watch your shin, Tadamatsu. Kirihara had a very simple interview. Despite his intimidating appearance, he comes off very polite and very helpful, while also insisting with big gestures. Not only giving answers to what Dr. Tadamatsu required, but even more information that wasn't even part of the question she had asked. Pay him no mind, he really doesn't want to mean any harm. Kitora refused to speak throughout her whole entire interview process, hardly giving any information or barely even speaking to Dr. Tadamatsu, making it quite clear that she had no intention to ever interact with her kidnappees, the doctors. She didn't seem to trust them at all. Without any cooperation at all during her interview, she was forced back to her room. Dr. Tadamatsu had to look through her past files to know what she could have taken note. It was extremely out of date. However, it's certainly interesting to see how this one goes throughout the killing environment. Dr. Time is also very excited, just like Dr. Tadamatsu. Suzuki was very uncooperative during the interview process, lied about all his required information during his stay on the plane. Due to this, he lost many living requirements for his daily needs. Well, he's here to say. It's his loss if he ended up dying.